A single errant challenge can change the tone of an entire match and a conversation that follows it. Late in a heated league game at the Bernabeu, Franco Mastantuono rose to contest a ball and connected high with Carlos Romero's face, leaving the Espanyol defender bloodied and momentarily stunned. The stadium gasped, medical staff rushed on, and yet on the report of the match the incident was recorded as a booking, a yellow card, and VAR did not intervene to upgrade or review the decision. Play resumed and the match moved on to its final result. Real Madrid collected a 2-0 win that consolidated their lead, but the picture that lingered after the final whistle was not the scoreboard. It was Romero's bloody countenance and the uncomfortable silence from the voices who normally register every controversial whistle. What should have been the headline, a potentially dangerous tackle and a discussion of match control, instead became a footnote in the match narrative for some commentators. That omission turned a single on-field foul into a flashpoint about media priorities and institutional accountability. The reaction, or the lack of it, from prominent pundits has inflamed fans and rival camps who see patterns rather than one-off events. This is not happening in isolation. Earlier controversies this season, including a hotly disputed red card that Real Madrid challenged, have already pushed the club to prepare formal complaints and dossiers aimed at highlighting perceived inconsistencies in officiating. Those broader moves give tonight's tackle a different light. When a club leader publicly signals concern about refereeing standards, every contentious call is suddenly part of a larger ledger of grievances and claims of bias. What matters here is not only whether the tackle itself met the threshold for a straight red, but what the institution around the match, referees, VAR protocols, and the media ecosystem chooses to do with such moments. Fans ask whether the rules are being applied uniformly, whether VAR is being used to correct clear errors, and whether strong tackles to the face are still treated with the gravity they deserve. At the same time, there is the human story, a young defender shaken, getting treatment in front of tens of thousands, and then seeing the incident vanish from the headlines as the winning team celebrate. That contrast fuels anger. Supporters of the injured side feel robbed of justice, neutral observers grow suspicious of selective outrage, and supporters of the winning side insist the match was fairly decided on the pitch. The media's role in shaping public perception cannot be overstated. When key pundits highlight the tactical mastery or the coach's bold selections but omit a brutal challenge that left a player bloodied, audiences notice and trust erode. In this case, one influential voice praised the victory and the starting 11 while making no mention of the dangerous challenge. That silence deepened the sense that some stories are amplified and others are downplayed depending on which camp benefits. Meanwhile, the club's next steps will be watched closely, a dossier being prepared by club leadership citing recent contentious decisions signals that the matter could move beyond punditry into formal complaints and administrative appeals. If the club pushes its case, it will force governing bodies to examine not only individual incidents, but the consistency of sanctioning and the transparency of review process. And that perhaps is the larger risk for La Liga. If fans across the board come to believe the system is inconsistent or partisan, the competition's credibility takes a hit. For players, the immediate consequence is also tangible. A sideline defender, a shaken dressing room, and a sense that the rules of engagement can change depending on the setting. For referees and VAR technicians, the message is clearer than ever. High contact to the head must be policed decisively and consistently, or the debate will never leave the headline. For broadcasters and pundits, the incident is a reminder of responsibility. To be fair observers, they must spotlight questionable calls even when their preferred team benefits. And for viewers, tonight's episode is an invitation to look beyond the result and demand better. Clear explanations from officials, consistency from VAR, and a media conversation that does not pick and choose which moments deserve outrage. This is not a single-line controversy to be archived with tomorrow's scores. It is a mirror held up to the structures that decide winners and losers. And if the mirror keeps showing cracks, sooner or later the system will be forced to repair them.